When I started this channel, I promised that I would have a look at my first gaming PC in modern gaming titles, and I did my best to do that. The video actually came out a couple weeks ago now. Sorry for the delay. Adobe was being Adobe. My phone recorded the entire thing in the wrong codec, so I had to use Handbrake to re-encode it, and my GPU modded VBIOS broke NVENC encoding, which was a load of fun to find out, because that was a really good VBIOS for overclocking. But I'm on a different graphics card, and everything else has been updated, and the footage was sitting around, so I figured I might as well edit it together. And I did, and I posted that video. Now, my first gaming PC that I built in March of 2014 with an i3-2130, 8 gigs of RAM, and a GT620 was hardly a gaming PC. But during the months of 2014 that followed, I upgraded that PC in various ways. First of which being, I swapped from the i3 to a Q6600, again with 8 gigs of RAM, but the Q6600, being a slightly older quad-core, was still a massive performance bump, plus I overclocked it pretty heavily. I've looked back at that same Q6600 on this channel already, there is a video about that. But after the Q6600, I went to the FX6300, because I didn't know about the shared cache and the fact that 6 cores didn't really mean 6 cores on those chips. I thought I was getting a better gaming chip, and for all intents and purposes, I was getting a better gaming chip compared to the Q6600. Just wasn't as good of an upgrade as I thought I was getting. And once I was on that platform, the next upgrade I really needed was a new GPU, because as I mentioned in that video, Dragon Age Inquisition came out, and I couldn't run it. So I managed to convince my mother for my 16th birthday to buy me a used HD 7990. You might have already figured out the problem there. The 7990 is a Crossfire graphics card. I think it's two 7850s or 7870s. Not top of the line cards, but very close. And because they're Crossfire, they really depend on PCIe bandwidth to get the full performance out of them. And the FX6300 was PCIe 2, which held back that graphics card massively. Well, a few months after I got that card, middle of 2015, I had a friend who was upgrading their PC to the new GTX 980, and they were using an R9 290. I managed to convince them to take my 7990 and give me their R9 290 for a few months. And that was the graphics card I used for the majority of 2015 with the FX 6300. It wasn't until the end of 2015 where I upgraded to Haswell, 4th gen i7s. And turns out, I recently bought an R9 290X, so it's clocked a little bit higher, and I do have an FX 6300. Should I make an update video?